What's up? What's up? Welcome back. What the heck happened today? We had some crazy momentum. For starters, we had MULN, which had a reverse split, and the float went from like 40 million to 4 million shares outstanding, or 4 million share float. And this thing ripped from $7 up to $18. We also had SMFL, which was nice rip pre-market. I was trying to trade this during a pre-market pump. I did start fumbling. I was fumbling on the pre-market pump. I was red, and then at the open, I slayed this damn ticker like it was nobody's business. I cooked this ticker so well. Beautiful trading on my part on SMFL at the open. We can review that in the live archive, but it did curl up again, and I did kind of trade small size until I can kind of get a feel for it again. But I never felt like that momentum was there on this curl, so I never sized up, and I just took a couple paper cuts on smaller size. And then we also had LTRY. This thing ripped midday on lighter volume, but ripped from $1.30 all the way up to $7 a share. I spotted it right here. I was halted up at 180, and I just watched it go $6 a share without me. And man, like a little bit frustrating, but I just never felt like I got a low risk entry. So I think that was my problem there. You really needed to trust buying high on something like this on LTRY. We also had another stock. This one was, what was that other stock? Let me pull it up. You guys will see my profit today. I'm up $560 on the day. At the high, I was up 587, and then started to give back a little bit on SMFL, and I gave a little bit back on, was it MULN? So I tried trading the range after the big move on MULN, but it didn't really work out. But MSAI was the other one that absolutely ripped. This thing was crazy. MSAI. This thing was halted up, and the way you could tell that it was bullish, is that on the halt up, the price, every couple seconds, every couple minutes, the resumption price would move up, and would move up, and would move up. That's how you know that people are bidding it up, and it's bullish. It's showing a bullish resumption. We ended up opening another $1 a share higher. We absolutely dip and rip. I got like 50 cents a share. Could have got $1.50 if I held a little bit longer, but yeah, then we continued higher, another halt up, another $1 share resumption, and kept ripping all the way up to $14. Wow, from 5 to 14. The market is heating up for Christmas. Santa is coming early. Wow, usually the week before Christmas is slow, but man, this market is hot. Very, very hot. Very nice to see. MSAI ripped 180% in just like 30 minutes. We had MULN rip 150% in about an hour. We had LTRY. This thing ripped 400% in about an hour. We had SMFL, which this one ripped from 90 cents all the way up to $3.49, another 263%. The opportunities are here, guys. The opportunities are here. And man, the market is crazy. The market is crazy. What I made today is how much I would make working 40 hours a week at the day job. And I did this in about an hour after the market opened. And man, it feels great. It absolutely feels great. However, there's still so much work to do. And the sky is the limit. There's so much more upside potential that I'm leaving a lot of money on the table by not sizing up even more. I could size up another 2, 3, or 4x before I really start to get into some trouble with liquidity. But so there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of more studying to be done. I have to continue reviewing my film, continue reviewing other people's recaps, people who trade similar to me, so I can figure out, things that they do well that maybe I struggle with, or setups that they did well on that I maybe have overlooked. Because there's so much more to learn, is every time you look over your tape or every time you watch somebody else trade the same exact stock, you always find something different that you didn't know before. So it's very important to continue to study. And really, it should be the 80-20 rule. 20% of the time of the day you should be trading, 80% should be studying. If it's the other way around, you are doing it wrong. You should be studying a lot more than you are actually trading. And that is just the best way to really speed up your learning curve, because if you're only trading and you're never reviewing, there's nothing, you're not really going to solidify any learning. It's kind of just going to go, as it comes through, it's just going to go in one ear and out the other. So pretty decent day, up 560. Today I crossed my yearly profit last year. So my total yearly profit last year I just crossed. So definitely an improvement from last year, especially since the opportunity this year I felt was a little bit slimmer and fewer and far between. So, just to be coming out ahead from last year, we can take a look at my entry year. So we can pull up the nominal. This is nominal P&L. So 15,822, and just crossed that this year. So 16,126. We still have about a week left of trading. Another 5 days of trading left. So this is great to see. It's definitely improvements showing. Although very slow, but I would rather be slow than taking too much risk and kind of blowing out my account and starting back from square one. I'd rather slow and steady and consistent growth than really going way too far into the deep end and kind of wiping out. So to see me growing past last year's yearly profit definitely shows that I'm improving, especially since the opportunity is a little bit fewer and far between this year than it was last year. But that's only going to increase. As the years go by, I'm only going to get better, and my confidence is only going to get bigger, and the results are only going to get bigger. So, pretty decent here. Let me just pull up the. Let's pull up the calendar. We can pull up my statistics for today, and then we can go through the live archive. So this week I had 2 $500 green days, and within the past 30 days, I've had 3 $500 green days. This is the first time that's ever happened. I've had, last green day was I think I had one other green day, and that was way earlier this year. So just to be having these 3 $500 green days within 3 weeks or 4 weeks is definitely also a good sign of improvement, and that I'm actually stepping up to the plate a little bit. It's important that when you do have a profitable strategy, I have to emphasize this, after you have a profitable strategy, now the next hurdle is making sure that you show up every single day in a way where you're pushing yourself, not just, sitting down and trading the same size that you've always been trading and not really getting angry that you're not getting any different results, but to sit down and consciously be aware of the fact that you need to push yourself just 1% more in share size, or you'd take 10% more shares than you did the previous day. And, that's just something you're just going to need to keep in mind, because we're naturally like to gravitate back to our comfort zone, but it needs to be after you have a profitable track record. I know there's people out there. Some guy messaged me today asking me, can you help me make my $200 back, because I have a $400 account and I lost 50% today. Can you help me make that money back? And I just straight up told him, the fastest way to make that money back is by getting a job, to be honest with you, because clearly you do not have a profitable strategy. You're new to trading. You don't have a profitable strategy, and you're trading with money you're not willing to lose, which is rule number one when you're getting into trading. Don't trade with money you're not willing to lose. And this guy was coming to me saying like, oh, I need can you help me get this money back? Can you help me get this money back? And I'm like, I can't help you get this money back. First of all, I don't give out investment advice. And two, you got to think of it as a lesson and, size down to one share. If you're new to trading, trade in a sim and prove profitability where there is no risk. Prove a system, and then you can think about sizing up, and then you can make your investment. I was down about $3,000 or $4,000 when I first started trading. I know there's people who are even farther in a hole than that, but I was luckily only down $3,000 or $4,000, maybe $5,000 when I first started trading. And it wasn't for like 2 years that I saw that money come back. I was in the hole for about 2 years until I really got back to break even. And that's just how you have to look at it. You have to have the marathon mentality. But anyways, let's get into the live archive. So SMFL, this one was the main one because this is a leading gapper. It's consolidating right around over VWAP, which is great. It didn't have any news on it though, so I was a little bit skeptical. And it already had a 300% move. So whenever it does have something that does have a 300% move, I'm always a little bit leery about it continuing, especially from pre-market into the open. So there I go, testing my one share just to make sure the fills are nice and quick. Now I know the fills are good, nothing's sticking. I think I take a quick pullback there on 1,000 shares, in at 73, out at 71. So $20 loss there, but no biggie, no sweat. Trading about 1,000 shares, and really, I could have bumped it up to 2,000. I could have really bumped it up to 2,000, but it's okay. Day by day, we improve. Take a quick dip there, 1,000 shares at 64, out at 66, so made that $20 back. We're pulling back, but we're hesitating right here. We're hesitating to flush. Whenever I see that, I want to be in for a quick pop. In at 56. Out at 63, so that's another quick $70 there in my pocket. Take another dip there at 65, and I'm back out at 67, so another $20 there. And now we're holding. We held a low there. Now we're up back towards the top of that candle. Now we're looking for a break over that pivot. So we do a quick dip, and I get in there for the break of that previous candle high, 1,500 shares this time. 1,500 shares. I was a little bit slower to get in, I noticed. I got filled at 82. So it's a little bit higher, but we're already showing 90 on the bid, so I'm already in the green. And I'm immediately selling at 92 there for a quick 10-cent gain on 1,500 shares. That's $150 right there in my pocket. Beautiful. It's a beautiful trade. Right, quick micro pullback and break of the pivot point, as we like to call it. So now we're kind of in like a strange area here, right underneath previous highs, but we're kind of, looks like we're struggling there a little bit. So we'll see if we break 3. Breaking 3 was a little bit tough. It did test 3 many times before it finally broke through. It did kind of throw me off, so I was extra patient on that. We're struggling up here on the high 2s. 299, pulling back again. That's like the second time we tested 3 and we just couldn't break it. You can tell there's a lot more resistance up here. In at 94, out at 94, so about break even there. There's the break of 3. It looks like I mistimed that. Going in for the break of the highs, break even trade right there. Didn't immediately go. It was not as aggressive as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to really start moving. We broke through the highs. Very weak breakout there. Definitely something to look for. We might be a little extended. We haven't had any significant pullback since $2.50, or about $1 a share in 3 minutes. It's pretty, it's a pretty big move. So I'm just kind of waiting for my entry. I don't want to jump the gun. I know it's extended here. We're not really ripping too far away yet. So it looks like there might be some resistance. Here's this pullback. And boom. Oh, man, I hit the market order as it was at that price, but it filled me. It was like wrong timing. Right here was the entry at 307. I hit buy, and I get filled at 310 and 312. I guess because the ask price was pushed back up to 320. And then I get filled too high, and I'm selling for a loss. So that was sort of... I had the right idea. It just didn't have the timing. Here's the pullback. So quick pullback there. Kind of risking off $3. So in only 500 shares. This is a break-even trade. I guess the spread kind of got me there. But again, that was another one. The right idea, just, I wouldn't say, I don't know if it was bad fill or just kind of the luck of the draw there. But it did have a pop up to like 315, but I did get filled at 307 on the sell, which was, I didn't know what the hell that was about. Holding this area and inching back towards the highs, but we're struggling. We're struggling. Here comes another dip here. And they're at 309 out at 311. So that was an okay dip. Quick $5, $7, something like that. I'm thinking I don't go for this breakout. I don't go for this breakout. Oh, I do, actually. I go for the quick breakout there for a quick 5 cents. So that's a quick $25 right there. And then here, oh, this is a beautiful trade. Oh, man, beautiful trade. I wish I did this on like 3K size. Now I want to see, when I see a false breakout like that, when it's rejecting the highs, I want to see it break these previous candles' lows. And I want to see it flash down. I don't want it to trickle down. I want it to just flash down. Then I can buy a panic dip. Boom, flash down, 286. This is a panic dip. This is one of my favorite setups. That's why you can profit on, this is how you can profit on false breakouts. False breakouts cause a lot of volatility, a lot of blood in the water, and this is where you can get very volatile moves off the lows. So this was a nice 60-cent range in this candle. So chances are, this is our support level here. So chances are it's going to kind of bounce and find support in this area. I do throw out an order there for 600 shares, which is not enough. And that was in at 86 out at 97. So quick $66. I thought I got in with 1,000 shares, but I guess I didn't. There's 1,000 shares there at 301 for and out at 305, so another $40 there. Yeah, that was a great dip. I needed to be in there for 1,000, 2,000 shares. But it's okay, one step at a time. One step at a time. Got to make sure that every single day you're pushing 1% more. 1% more. So on something like that, I got to be ready with about 1,500 shares again, or 2,000 shares. Because the system is proven. I've proven the system. Now it's all about just slowly scaling it up. It's not about going 10x overnight, because if you 10x overnight, there's a chance that you can lose your emotional control. Because, statistically, obviously you're going to have red days. And what if tomorrow's, I'm not saying that tomorrow is going to be a red day, but if it is a red day and I 10x my size overnight, there's a big chance that the emotions are going to be activated. And when your emotions are activated, you can spiral out of control and do dumb things. So that's why it's important to slowly scale up, so you're not risking everything that you worked for. So that way, you can kind of compound your gains. So like today I had a $500 day. If I size up a little more, I'm not going to be losing $5,000 tomorrow. I'm going to lose, at most, maybe at worst case scenario, I lose $500. Let's say in a worst case scenario red day, $500, $600 red day, which would be a terrible red day. But I sized up, and so that kind of accounts that I should be having bigger red days. But I didn't 10x. If I 10x, it could be a $5,000 red day. And that's when it really starts to be like, okay, now I am emotionally activated, and now I have to reset all the way back to where I first started. Or if I continue to trade on the big size, I'm going to be still emotionally activated and wanting to make back the loss, which can more likely cause me to dig a bigger loss. And so that's why it's definitely better to take the long road, the road that almost guarantees success more than if you just 10 exercise overnight. Some people have 10 exercise overnight and they've been successful, but there's been a lot of people that have 10 exercise overnight and completely blow up their account. So I find that if you have the time, and if you're not like, oh, I got to be a millionaire tomorrow, or I got to do this, I got to make this money by tomorrow to pay my rent, I would encourage taking it really slow when sizing up. So like 10%, increasing your buying positions by 10% a day, as long as you're having red days that are in normal standard deviation. Then every single day go into your hotkeys and increase the size by 10%. So if you're trading with 500 shares on every buy order, tomorrow go in and change it to 550. The next day change it to 605. The next day change it into 665, and just slowly increase it. And then by the end of the month, you're going to be at 800 shares or 900 shares. And then by the end of 6 months, you're going to be at 2,000 shares. And that's when you can really start making consistently over $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, $3,000 a day. And that's where trading can really get completely surreal. Like, how the hell is this even possible? Feels like you're doing the impossible, and can completely boggle your mind. But it's a slow process. And there's a balance. You got to push yourself, but you can't overdo it. You can't overdo it, but you can't underdo it. There's definitely a balance. And I find 10% is kind of the sweet spot to where you don't even really notice it. You don't really notice it, but it's enough to get, different results, over time. Get better results over time. So I had a couple scalps in there on this breakout. So we're kind of reclaiming this wick. So I take a scalp there, 500 shares, trying to get the break to the high as a quick 3-cent trade there. We pull back here, and I take a dip, pulling back, and I see it moving real fast, and then it kind of slows down and hesitates down here. So I take 500 shares for a quick pop back up, real quick. This is not a long hold time. A quick scalp from 24 out at 27. And then it pulls back some more, it reels in some more, and then it pops back up again, up to 27. In at 20 out at 27. That's a 7-cent gain. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you can just do that over and over again, and that adds up to some nice gains. Here's another, I think, maybe. Nope. Here is the flush. When I see it coming back down here, I'm waiting for it. Boom. There is 800 shares at 03, out at 09. There's another 6 cents a share gain right there. It's another about $50. So it looks like it held support there on the 9 EMA. What do we got down here? I catch a dip, 500 shares at 82. still over the VWAP, so it's still kind of, you know, could find some support in this area. So I'm in at 82, out at 90, so it's another, I was 500 shares, so that's another 40 bucks there in my pocket. Back in at 94, this is aggressive, very high. Back out at 91, so that was a $15 loss there. It's a little bit too high. I thought this candle was going to flip green and kind of rip back up, but it's a little too aggressive of a trade. And I think that was it. And then MSAI, this thing, man, crazy. Let's pull this up. I don't think this one was very long, but the dip and the rip pattern is great. So what you can see if you watch the tape, you know, like first it started out as we're going to open up at 24, then it moves to 25, and now it shows we're opening up at 750. So it keeps climbing up. So it means that there's people bidding this up. So it's a bullish, and we're gapping way higher. So this is a bullish resumption. And so the setup on resumption plays, if you're a scalper, it's going to always be the dip and the rip. Sometimes it's not always a clear dip though, which is challenging. Sometimes it's just a hold and a rip higher. And that's what we saw in LTRY. LTRY never really had a dip on these resumptions plays. It never had a dip. It was just kind of hold, rip up $1, halt up, open, hold, rip up $1. And those are really tough because you don't know if you're getting in at the top. But anyways, let's take a look. So we open up there, we dip down, and we're right under 250. So that's a psychological resistance level, and I'm expecting that to break. So that's just the target that I'm looking to hit. I'm in there at 34, holding, boom, sold at 83. So 50 cents a share. Beautiful trade. But then now look, it rips, absolutely rips. Was not expecting that. But, you know, happy I got my 50 cents a share. Could have been $1.50 or $2 a share. But anyways, it halts up again. And there's another setup. But I don't take it. I do not take it. Here is another panic dip. So we're at 9. And let me just move it a little faster. I guess, there you go. But we rip up there, and then we kind of reject this highs, and I'm looking for a pullback. So very sharp, steep pullback, which is great. Right at $8. Got in at $8.09 and selling there at $8.23. I was only trading 100 shares with this. I was only trading 100 shares. I thought it was very volatile. I thought it was a little volatile, high risk. But, yeah. I mean, if you did get on the wrong side of this trade, it could have been nasty. Wrong timing on one of these breakouts or one of these dips, you know, you're taking a 50 cent to $1 a share loss. I can see why I was a little bit cautious. But it's important that we face our fears. And, you know, maybe today on MSAI, MSAI in particular, I did not really step up to the plate. And it really kind of could have been a much bigger day. It could have been my 1K day. Could have been the 1K day. But, you know, even at minimum, you know, 100 shares, okay, you know, that's great. You know, make a couple extra bucks. You know, I made like 150 bucks from this. But if you double that, triple that, you know, it could have been a $450 day. Yeah, there's always these what ifs and whatever. Yeah, there's always these what ifs. I already know someone's going to comment, oh, you're just hindsight 2020. Yeah, well, you know, the problem isn't the setup that I wish I would have taken. It's, you know, I wish I just would have faced my fears and gotten a little bit more aggressive on this one in particular. So that's really the problem. So that doesn't really pertain towards 2020 vision in the past. It's more so just me sometimes, like, my balls don't hang long enough. my balls hang for the first couple minutes on SMFL. My balls were hanging, but once MSAI popped up, I shriveled up like it's out naked in the cold. And MSAI did have a really nice dip on this. I made like $1.50 a share on this. So very nice dip trades in here. So let's pull this up. So nice dip there off 11. So I'm in at 11.01, selling at 11.03. Comes down a little bit lower. Panic dip below 11. We're extended on the, it's an extended dip. Boom, in at 73. And look, I'm trading 25 shares. What is this nonsense? What am I doing? Like, I just want to punch myself in the face. Like, come on, you can't even trade 100 shares. You can't even trade 100 shares because you're a little baby. I'm being a little bitch here. Like, I can't be trading 25 shares. Like, what am I doing? I just made 40 cents a share. My God. And I wonder why I'm not having bigger days, man. I'm wondering why I have fucking not bigger days. I'm trading fucking 25 shares. This is fucking embarrassing. Like, I gotta just fucking nut the fuck up and just go for it, man. Like, it's 950. The stock is ripping. It has good momentum. It has good volume. I was up 500 on the day. And that was a beautiful trade. From 78 to 1124. God damn it. My inner wuss just came out on this because I saw this thing go from $5 to 13. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to give back all the profit I made on the day. It's like, I have a profitable system. I have a profitable strategy. I can't look to protect my gains. I show that the more I trade in this window of time, the more profitable I get. So I should be taking every setup with good size. And here I am, 50 shares. Okay, I bump it up to 50 shares at 63. I'm in at 63. This is actually a really good entry. Take it off at 37. I didn't think I caught the bottom there. Got back in. I'm actually in 100 shares at this time. 100 shares in at 31 and 46. Selling in the 60s. Selling in the 70s. And man, I'm just doing sell half, sell half, sell half. I only have 13 shares left. I sell in $11, and then I have 7 shares left. And this rips, man. Like, for my first entry at 1081, this thing rips all the way up. I'm still holding 7 shares to 13.37. I made $3 a share. $3 a share on 7 shares. You know what, man? I'm happy with the gains. I'm happy with the gains, but it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. I'm gonna beat up my inner wuss slowly but surely. I'm going to turn him into a beast. I'm gonna turn into a goddamn beast. I'm going to conquer my inner wimp and yeah, gotta beat him into submission. This is the golden opportunity right here. I just had a $3 a share trade on 7 shares. I did try to scalp a little bit down in here, but kind of all break even. Nothing really significant that I'm going to go over. But yeah, today was a good day. But again, like everything, there's always a way to get better. You know, for me, gotta stay in the game, man. I gotta stay in the game and get out of the headspace of sizing down to protect the gains during golden opportunity. I can't be doing that. I have to keep my balls hanging throughout the entire day, throughout the entire golden hour of my trading period. Or else I'm never going to reach highs, or else I'm never going to get better. I'm never gonna, never gonna turn that $500 a day into a $1,000 a day. $1,000 day into the $2,000 day. Because if I stop and say, oh, I don't want to give it back, I'll never grow. I'll never grow. So, gotta trust the system. Gotta trust my gut. Gotta trust the zone. Gotta trust all of the work that I've been putting in. I mean, I've been doing this for exactly 3 years and 3 months. You can take a look at the calendar. So we're getting to the end of 2023. So that's 1 year. Here's 2022. So that's 2 years. Here's 2021. There's 3 years. And I started back here in October of 2020 with this sort of strategy. And 3 years and 3 months. It's a lot of work. Putting into this. The progress is showing. But I know the bottleneck. The bottleneck is myself. I am holding myself back. And that fucking feels like shit. It feels like shit. I'm holding myself back for my own greatness. I will not be the reason that I don't reach the heights of trading that I dream of. I will not stand in the way. I will continually push the boundary and push it and push it and push it until that cage just that cage just rips right open and I just turn into an absolute beast, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. I just have to keep pushing a little bit, feel the pain, hold myself to the fire, have bad days and fucking be pissed and study my ass off and take all that anger out into my studies and, watch my tape like 2 or 3 times a day, on the toilet, while I'm taking a poop, while I'm brushing my teeth, before I go to bed, right when I wake up. I need to be, making sure I'm on my game at all times. Got to be learning. Because the more you learn and the more you can trust your system, then the more comfortable you're going to be with sizing. Because you can trust your system more. If you never study and you don't have conviction in your system and your strategy, it's going to be very hard to size, because you're always going to have that doubt in the back of your head that what you're doing you don't know if it's working. So you need to be studying. No matter how good you are, no matter how bad you are, you need to be studying. I'm still going to be studying my ass off probably. I mean, trading is a lot of work. I mean, trading, it's not like you just sit down and trade for an hour and you do that for every day and you turn out to be a millionaire. It's like, even when you reach that millionaire status, it's still a lot of work. You're still studying, you're still working, you're still refining. So it never lets up. It never lets up. And if you stop, like, your results are going to show. You're going to start taking massive losses. But anyways, it's turning out to be a longer video. We are going to wrap it up here with the statistics on the day real quick. And then I'll be off to the gym. So risk reward standpoint, beautiful risk reward. Accuracy, right in point. These are great stats. I can't beat myself up about these stats. Great stats. So yeah, not really much else to go out with that. Largest winner 137, largest loser 115. So nothing really outsized either to the green side or the red side, which is fine. But consistency just kind of adding up to a nice green day. But that's it. Thanks for tuning in for this long ass video. If you're still watching, hit that thumbs up button. You are the OG. If you're a new viewer, hit that subscribe button. I know you love this channel. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the last day of the week before Christmas. Hopefully it'll be a great day. Stay tuned for the pre-market pump tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.